you know, when I was trying to get on, you know, I used to just go to different clubs and ask to get on the turntables. 1,000 people said no, and then one time somebody said yes. And when they said yes, yeah, Russell Simmons was in the building, Leo Cohen was in the building, and when I got off the stage, they snatched me up. They was like, "Yo, come here. You want to go on tour with Run DMC?" I'm like, "Of course." 9 months later, I was on tour with Run DMC. Yeah, opening up for, it was the Tougher Than Leather tour. Run DMC, Public Enemy, and Derek B, which is from London. Rest in peace, Derek B. And he was opening up with Derek B. JMJ is everything to me, man. Like, he was my mentor. He became the godfather of my child, my son. And because, you know, at the time, you know, opening up for Run DMC, I don't know if you're familiar about just the perks that the opening artists don't get, you know what I mean? Like, so imagine just being in Europe for 2 months, and maybe a few times I had a hotel room, but for the most part, 99% of the time, I didn't have a hotel room. I slept on a tour bus, I took showers at the venue, and I ate at the venues from October to December. You know, me and Jay became cool, and so he was like, "Yo, we was in Germany." He was like, "Yo, there's an after party. Like, what hotel you at? I'm gonna come pick you up. We're gonna go to the after party." I'm like, "I don't have a hotel." He's like, "What do you mean?" You know, I'm like, "I sleep on the tour bus." He was like, "Are you serious?" And at the time, I had a baby on the way. My girl was pregnant. So we went to the party, and then the next day, he was like, "Yo, come to my hotel," and he was like, "Yo, you got a baby on the way? How many months?" I'm like, "She's 8 months." Every day from that day, he let me call back to New York every day until my son was born. And from that day, he would get a double bed in his room so I could sleep in a bed. Everybody has the same story about Jay. Anybody that Jay has ever done for, or you ever just came across Jay, like, he's one of those. You know how when people pass away, and he might be a piece of shit. Like, somebody that passed away might be a piece of shit, but when they die, people say, "Oh, he was such a nice person." It wasn't that. Like Jay was really a pure-hearted, great person. Like, he would help everybody. I never seen him angry, never seen him raise his voice unless he was on the mic DJing. When we first met, he came to the show early because Run DMC is the headliner artist. They don't come early to see the opening act. They come like right before it's time for them to go on. So after the first show, Run was complaining about how the crowd was dead. The production people that did the sound for the tour, they was like, "Yo, the crowd was dead because that little kid that opens for y'all wore that crowd the fuck out." It's like, yo, he was doing all these tricks on the turntables, you know, taking his shirt off. He was doing all kind of shit, and the crowd's going crazy. So Jay was like, "I want to see that." So he came, like, he told me this whole story, and he came to sound check. We came to sound check the next day, and I'm DJing, checking my turntables. He's like, "Yo, show me that shit." So I would show him, DJ routine. So from that point on, he came to sound check every day. I would teach him different scratching routines and juggling routines and all of that. So from that point on, when Run DMC do beats to the rhyme, so when it gets to the part, "Cause you can't touch Jam Master Jay, cause the number," and Jay would start beat juggling that part in the middle of the song, and then they'd go back into continuing the song. So the first time he did it, D and Run was like, "Where the hell you learn that from?" You know what I mean? And he just took me under his wing, and Jam Master Jay would tell me, "The stuff that you do is so ill." He said, "I get it because I'm a DJ." He said, "But these people might not get it because then, they're just regular people. They're not DJs. So the stuff you're doing is going over their head." He said, "So what you need to do is do stuff that somebody that never saw a DJ cut shit up before, they would get it right off top." So he basically converted me from this raw, just DJ that cuts and scratches, what they call now turntablists, to a performer. If you're in a turntablist type of crowd, battle situation, or you're doing an exhibition, everybody's there, they do the same thing, they get it. So you can do all of the technical stuff, but you can't beat juggle in front of a crowd of women with stilettos on. You got to do something visual that they will automatically get. So that's what Jay taught me. He taught me to know when to scratch and cut, when to do the battle shit, and when to be able to perform. So he basically turned me into a performer. So that's like the biggest lesson I got from him. And one more thing, he told me, establish myself as an individual because groups always break up. One of the biggest lessons he had told me. Touring with Run DMC, I got to see that there's a hood in every city in the world. You know what I mean? And once I came back to those cities with EPMD, I let them know, like, yo, when we in London, Brixton is like Brownsville, Brooklyn, like that's the hood. But we never really went, we never had a situation because I already experienced and know the hood already. The day Jam Master Jay passed, I was at the Hit Factory Studios with Busta Rhymes, working on some stuff for Busta, and somebody hit me on a two-way pager, and I'm like, that's crazy. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, no way. And then I got another message like, yo, Jay just got killed from somebody else. Still ain't paying it no mind. Another one came through, I'm like, hold up. So I called Jay phone, just rang out. Called him again, and then I hit him on his two-way pager. Still no reply, because he always replies, you know what I mean? He always replies. Like maybe like an hour later, I heard it on the radio. Then that was it. That was it. It was done. Devastated. I don't even remember nothing after that.
I'm still thinking that's some sound guy or whatever, and he's going, and I go, huh? And he just stole on me. Pop and clocked me like right around here. Like he got me good.
Even all of the music, I don't like the music. We need that music, you know what I mean? So those kids can eat too. Those kids can take care of their family. Everybody deserves a shot. Another note, like you need the whack shit so you know it's dope.
A lot of kids say their role models wasn't the political leaders of the hood, they was the drug dealers and everything.
Creativity is going to change the planet for us. And artists are the ones that's going to lead that.